righty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let's see what we got going on today. It's Happy to Hump Day. I think Powell is speaking in the next half hour or hour. He's speaking. Where is he at? He's in. I want to say he's in South Africa, but I know he's not. I don't think it's in the States. I think he's out and about. Fired up the jet and took off, and you can keep him. But where are we at this morning? You can see there's the dollar index on J4X. You can see it's trying to perk up. The last 3 out of 4 days have been green on the Hinky Ashkies. You can see the green line down at the bottom here, right there, trading in the 67 area with the slow moving at 67. They're both basically very tight. You can see here on Chicago Quant, it's above the 0 line. That's what the yellow line represents over here on J4X. And so basically what we're seeing here is that the strength is still there with the dollar, which is really surprising because, you know, it doesn't look like interest rates are doing anything particular, but I guess when you're moving capital around and so forth, you have to try to get the best. And so what happens is that money runs to the best spot that's safe. Just happens to be the States here. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We've always hoped that the European Union could pick up the slack. I know I always mumble this, and people probably think, what the hell is he talking about? When we first started the European unit back in 1982, I guess it was, going into 83 here at the exchange, we started trading options on the actual cash spot, not on the futures contract, and we created a unit, European unit, which turned out to become the euro, and we were hoping that would pick up some of the responsibility of being the world reserve currency, because we found that it hurts our economy as much as it helps it. In other words, there's too much borrowing going on. It's too easy for money to come into the system. And so it gets wasted. It's not very functional. So our stats go all over the place from it, the fundamentals. Hey, George. Hey, Robin. So anyhow, you can see there's the dollar now has been basically in a buy for 4 days, and it's just kind of stumbling around in there, nothing major. But and at the same time, you can see the weekly has been in the minus. So it's in the minus, the other one's in the plus, and it doesn't seem to be able to get out of its own way at this point. And then we know that there is serious talk of what's the serious talk of raising rates a couple more quarter points along the line. So between that and all the rest of them, we just kind of shake our heads and go, oh, geez, can't we change this trajectory or direction that it's taking? So, all right. Not sure if any of that made any sense, but I hope it did. Let's take a look at. We can see there's the weekly. So we're a weekly sell, daily buy. It's a neutral, and that makes total sense because I really don't think that the markets have much direction at this point. Then you can see here we go over to the euro. The euro is trying to jump into that daily buy today. And it's been in the weekly buy since back in April. Let's get that mouse going right. There it is. Since back here in April, it's been in that weekly buy. So it keeps on holding up. It gets sloped and parabolic, and it just seems to like a parabolic dish. And then now it seems to be turning up again. Let's see what it looks like over here on J4X. Right there. There we are. Same situation, constantly showing that strength. Let's put it on a weekly basis too. There's the daily. The daily's showing the weakness and it's showing the strength. And now same thing here. What do we get here? That's the weekly. We made some. Let me just double check that. Let's make it the whole picture for a moment. So went into the buy a while back, back in here in let's see, where's that at? Let's find it again on J4X or in Chicago Quant. So we went into the buy on Do I have the right product? Yeah. No, that's the S&P 500. No wonder it doesn't make any sense. There we are. That makes sense. So it's going into the buy for the last 3 days. I'm looking at it. I'm saying to myself, how could we have 3 greens and then all that movement down? And you can see here, the S&P 500's been in a buy for a long time. You can see here it's going in and out, and you can see right there it's trying to get back into it as we speak, as it's down for the day. So, and the weekly is in a weekly buy for the last 3 weeks, and we keep on trying to interpret and understand what that seems to want to tell us. At this point, it seems like it's trying to tell us that it has no direction either. When you really look at it on a larger scale, let's do that on J4X. You can see there, it's been kind of consolidating now since December. Since December, it's been consolidating. And it's been an upwardly drift, though. It was this was all-time lows right here. And it, had a great rally off of it. It seems to be locking into this area here. I guess if we keep on seeing some more European interest rate increases, and we showed the article yesterday, corporations are starting to realize that a woke investment strategy is not a good one. And so European corporations are starting to look at their balance sheet, their accounting, and say, hey, I think we need to do smarter things. As I take a sip of my tea. And one of those smarter things is to basically borrow more efficiently. I think they were just borrowing in just like we call it over here, willy-nilly. In other words, not really pay attention. They just borrowed and weren't really plowing that money into growth. And they're starting to realize that, the mother's milk of equity investing is profits. Corporations need to make profits. And so they're starting to look at their balance sheet and say, geez, we're dragging around a lot of bad borrowing investment type strategies, and we need to straighten that out. And that's my fingers are crossed. In other words, I'm hoping that we see Europe start to wake up to the fact. The United States has now gone into what we call we like to look at Europe as the living museum and not very functional, and only because of the old Eastern Bloc countries that are doing the best capitalism of all now, from Poland all the way down to, Romania to the Czech Republic and Slovakia and Bulgaria and Hungary and so forth are really putting that charge into it. Same thing I think they're trying to do in Latvia and Lithuania and so forth. And you're seeing a push towards capitalism from the northern states. You see the central states of France and Germany and so forth starting to wake up again, especially Germany. They're realizing that they need to generate income. They need to make profits. And then you have the southern states, Spain and Italy and so forth, and Portugal and Greece. And, they need to get back into gear also, in the sense that they need to start thinking about doing things that are positive financially. And so far, that doesn't look like it's happening. But again, the northern states are doing it, and Germany is starting to look and see that it makes more sense to try to generate a profit. So that's a good thing. And with that, we should see the currency, the pairs trade, get weak on the dollar side and strong on the other side, whether it be the euro or the cable or the British pound or the Canadian or the Swiss franc. It should be the krone or whatever. It should start to look stronger on that side. Oh, there you go. There's Janos. Hey, everyone. Hey, Janos. Doc, are you Doc? You asked to speak private. That would be possible only next week. I will send you a message on Sunday. Great. That's a good idea. I got this wedding to attend on Friday and need to get ready. I've gotten too fat during COVID. Well, you need to get out there and train with the troops. Need a new suit, etc. Oh, my God. You really got fat. I hope you can fit into everything. Yeah, I want to talk to you about something about the index that I've been talking about since you've been gone. So, yeah, we need to talk about that. I think that could be very positive for all of us. So, whenever you're free, Janos, it's okay with me. I'm in no hurry. So anyway, we should be seeing the strength on the pairs side, not on the dollar side. Even with the 2/4 points that allegedly are going to come. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Excellent. And try not to work the elbow too hard at the next wedding. You know, that alcohol definitely adds. It's a lot of times it's the ice in the drink that's the bad part. But you know, you just don't want to add any more fat on. All right. So from there, what else we got going on here? Let's see now. Let's try this. Let's go to the British pound and see what the British pound is up to. Right there. You can see the British pound still in that daily sell, and it's pushing down more and more. The weekly is holding up on the buy. Again, another situation where it's basically trapped in a neutral position. You know, it can't get out of its own way. And that's what we're seeing there. Now let's put it up on J4X. And there it is right there. And you can see weekly wise, it's in a buy for the last 4 weeks, just like we are right here. And you can see that the slow is at 74.7 and the fast is at 76. So it's just lifting up still lifting up. And it's trying to push along. It's just a tea morning. All right. From there, we march along to the Swiss. The Swiss is in a buy. You know, again, weak against the dollar, which is surprising, but it's all right. You know, it's just they're not exactly moving wild, and it's had a great move. It's had over a 10% move against the dollar over the last couple of months, so that's not that bad at all. And boy, doesn't the Turkish lira beg for something like that? Can't wait to get to the Turkish lira. I wonder if it's another all-time high again. And so there's the Swiss. Let's put the Swiss up on J4X, and you see right there. So you're in a weekly sell for 3 weeks on J4X. I'm on Chicago Quant right there. And at the same time on J4X, we're seeing, as it's loading, and it's loading, and it'll appear in a second here. There it is. And so it's been in a daily sell for 3 weeks. I'm sorry, weekly sell for 3 weeks. And you can see that the fast is at 23 and the slow is at 35. So it's still showing the pressure there. And then we'll go to the daily right there. And it's the daily is at 47 and the slow is at 46. So it's it's joining in. It's trying to join in today to that daily buy. It's been in the daily buy for 3 days now. Put that line. Let's steal this line over here. Just move it into it like that. So it's been in the daily buys from there. And you can see we had one right here. And it made a new high, or a higher high the next day, and then fell apart. So that's the Swiss. Now from the Swiss, Yada says, good. By the way, look at Navarre. Yeah, I was it Biden blocked the chips or something, didn't he? To China? Or he made an announcement that he's blocking the chips? I guess he wants more money for his attorneys or something. I don't know. So China's going to have to kick up more dollars to help him out. It is set to drop today due to fundamental news, but would be good to see what you have on it. We'll take a look at that now. U.S. considering new restrictions on the chip. Yeah, exactly. On China, Wall Street Journal reports. Yeah, and because of that, maybe Biden's using that to blackmail the Chinese a little bit. All the news that's come out. Oh my goodness, he's cooked like a duck. He is cooked. Sooner or later, it'll all spill out. They've got emails and money. He's taken in tens of millions of dollars. I think they're up to 30 or 40. I think they're over 40 million now he's taken in. And spread it out through his whole family. Kids 9 years old are getting money from China and Ukraine and Romania. And few other places, and so he's been cooked. They caught him, and the media is not talking about it. Now let's see if we can get an MVDA up on the screen right here. There it is, right? That's Dish. Asher. Let's change Dish to NVDA. There it is. And here's the weekly. Let's see what she looks like here. And close. Well, you can see it's going after the weekly sell at the moment. It's been in the daily sell. Was it there or the day after? Let's see. So it's the day after. It went into the weekly sell, daily sell right here. And right now it's not much. Oh yeah, I guess it's down. It's down from yesterday. Boy, we almost made it into the daily sell there. That was interesting. Very close. So it's in the daily sell. It's been in a weekly buy since, my God. It's been in a weekly buy since, what is that? January 20th. And the fast went in a week before that. You can see the fast went in right here. So it's been in a buy since the 100 and, let's see, where's that? What is that? That is $178. So it went into the weekly buy at 178. It's been in a weekly buy all the way, and it ran to, what's the high here now? 400. So we've been in a weekly buy for $300. My God. And you can see there, that was a good one right there. Everybody, now I want to really look at it, Giannis. Wow, that excites me. Let me see if we can put some. Let's see what the buys look like. So there's a buy right there, and the thing goes from. What's it go from? It goes from. Let's see if we can widen this a little bit more for us. So it goes from the $150 area all the way to right there, which is the $212. So it goes $62 up. The day before that, it was up at was it 150 to 230. $80 gain with that weekly buy, and then it goes back into a buy again. There, it doesn't do anything. You actually lose a little money, and then it goes into a buy there, makes a little money. Goes into a buy there, makes a little money. Goes there, makes a little money. Goes in a buy there, makes a little money. Goes in a buy, I guess it's all the way up to here. Let's go back to that. So it goes in the buy there, catches that whole move. Let's widen that out a little bit so you can see it better. A lot of wins, let's put it that way. And then there's your sell right there. And then there's the buy again. You're not shorting it because you're in a weekly buy. And there's another win. And there's another win. And there's another win. And there's another win. There's another win. Let's see. That can't because it's a red and a green. So the next buy from there is right there. Another win. So it had like, I don't know, 8 or 9 wins and one loss. Not bad. That's back to, it's the 85, 90 percentile area. Now you can see the weekly is flirting with the sell. Yeah, it was good action, wasn't it? 300 plus. I love doing that. I love looking at something that I haven't been looking at, and then doing it live in front of everybody. That's what I always find to be incredibly enjoyable, is doing it live in front of everybody. In other words, I could have taken it on the chin there. Someone could say, "Jay, you can't make any money with your system. What the hell are we watching you for?" But it usually does the opposite. It always makes money. So that's pretty cool. You're going to have a loss. You'll have a loss here and there, but it always makes money overall. That's the whole idea. So in other words, you may have like 3 wins and 1 loss, or like 6 wins and 2 losses, but you overall made money on all of it in the end. In other words, whatever the losses are, they're nowhere near what the wins are. All right, so there's your NVDA. Yeah, the math has been this good forever. I back tested it 37 million years on expanding galaxies. I've back tested it on the Dow Jones Industrial Average back to 1923. What else have I done? I back tested it on the gigantic, that's the galaxies, when they're expanding and when they start to contract. And I've also done it on isotopes, when they start to expand and when they start to their decay starts to occur. So it is a very successful math. It works well. Well, indeed. All right. I'm just going to minimize. I'm just going to jump over back to the currencies in case someone asks, has an idea they want to see a stock or something. All right. So here's the Swiss. You can see the Swiss is trying to, stay up. It's been in a buy right here, but we're in a weekly sell, so it's a neutral position. You just don't be short. That's all. Because this is trying to tell you to be short, but this isn't a buy, so it says don't be short. Sometimes we're in a neutral. You can be long, you can be short, you can be neutral. Let's see. From there, we go over to the yen. The yen is doing what we weeks ago didn't think it was going to do, but or months now. Now it's months ago. I really thought it was going to park itself around the 38, 39, and that was it. I didn't expect to find it at 144, but at this point, I've said a couple of weeks back now that it's made this type of dash, I don't think anything can stop it. It's going to go to 35-year highs again, probably that 151 area. It just, whatever it is, but the math is telling us, in the 134 area to be long, and here we are at the 144 area. So, every time it's been telling you to buy the daily buys. Now from there we slip over to what do we do next? We go to the Turkish lira. And there's the Turkish lira. Is that another all-time high? Yesterday's all-time high was 28.59. Today's all-time high is 28.61. Today's another all-time high. So we're only like under 3 points, 2.5 points. We're 2.5 points away from where I thought it would get to. 2.5 handles. I keep on thinking it's going to make the low 31s to the high 33s. Or I'm sorry, the 31 to 33 I think it's going to land. And that will be a 50 percentile move. That's what that'll be. So we've gone from like 21, 22... to 32. It's a 50% move. We've already blown through the 0.318. So just using Fibonacci and looking at how much it's gained or lost is giving me that opinion. That's how I look at it. All right, now from there, we march over to the very first major brick. Major brick. And that is the Mexican peso right there. And you see peso is trying to lift up a little bit. Went into a sell right here. No, not there. There. Went into a sell yesterday. We'll throw that in. And it's just kind of stumbling around. It's been in that weekly sell since the 118.20 area. And now we are at the 1820 area, and now we're at the 1710 area. So it's dropped the full handle. That's a lot for a very stable currency. That's not norm. Let's see what else we got. Let's try this. Let's go over now from the Mexican peso, and let's take a look at the South African rand, the second M brick. And there it is right there. It's moving up the last week and a half. Gold has been moving down. Let's show you gold up on J4X. Right there, there's the gold. You know, when it goes up, South African Rand, normally gold goes down, and that's what it's doing there. And you can see we're in that weekly sell just 3 weeks back, but it's whatever dropped it down, it seems to be more of inflation, interest rates, or slash some type of issue with the dollar. Because we see that doing that, we see the Canadian doing that, and we see, what's the other one? Mexican peso, that's it. Mexican peso doing the same thing. All three of them have been doing that. All right, now from there, boom, 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 boom. We go over to the Canadian, and that's you can see the last couple of days it's moving up with oil moving down. That's the norm. Let's find it right there. Let's put it up on J4X. Right there. And you see oil goes down. Normally Canadian goes up. It loses against the dollar. And so at this point in time, what do we got here? So, and we've been in a weekly sell in the, what is it? This is the CAD. And it's broken that triangle thing. It's done what it's supposed to do. Go down and challenge this low here, the 31s. That right there. And that's what it's done. It's gone down to it. All right. 31.5, something like that. So now the CAD, and you can see oil moving down. Yesterday they smacked oil, and let's just show you what oil is doing on our work. There you can see that's the front month at 67. We're going to call it 50. It's trading 48's last, 49's last, but let's call it 50. So 67.50, and the back month is 67.80. It's picked up another nickel or so. So it's up to about 30 cents now. And you can see they're both in daily sells, but they're flirting with weekly buys. So it's a real neutral situation here, which is very disappointing. I'm not sure if you can look. I don't think money wants to run away from oil. I think it wants to run towards it. We're seeing some back and filling right now because, as I think my headline was on Monday. Was it Monday? I think my headline was, oil is dropping because of the weakness of the economy. Let me just double check. I think that's what the title was. And that's really what's coming down to, is that the economy is weakening. And that's my train of thought. I got lost. When we were talking about the northern states in Europe, doing much better than the central and the southern states financially. And that's the punishment. That is the punishment right there. In other words, oil. In other words, how do I say this right? In other words, when America sneezes, the world catches a cold, and that's what the problem is. That the Americans are doing okay. Things are not great here, but they're worse outside the country. That's what the problem is. And as you can see there's the crude. It's trying to go after this low that it made back on the 12th. And that's the pressure on the October. Let's see if the front month has done that. Nope, it was very close, but still held up. And so that's where we are with the oil. All right, now from there, where do we go from there? We go to, let me see, what is it? Let's go take a look at, I think we finished up the currencies. That's what it is. All right, so there we go over, since we have crude up on there, let's go take a look at natural gas. There's natural gas. It's flirting with a daily sell, but it is a little up from yesterday's close. And you can see it's trying to get into the the daily sell, but the weekly buy is very firm. Both lines are above the manifold here. There it is right there. Both of them are looking very firm in here, so I don't see much selling going on there. Headline says Biden administration promised transparency, having economic meeting in crime-filled Chicago. Crime-filled. Anyway, they're saying, well, the stock market's kind of quiet. You know, they're not really pushing down on it too much. All right, now from natural gas, let's put Brent up on the screen here too. There's Brent on J4X right there. And it's been red for 5 days now on a daily. See what the weekly looks like right there. And also the fast is trading at 20 and the slow is trading at 28. So it's got, you know, it's giving you a warning, pressure, pressure. You see all the hinkies on a daily. There's the weekly now. Something like 4 and then 2 and then 4. So 8 out of the last 10 weeks it's been in a sell. 8 out of the last 10 weeks. And obviously it's come down from the mid 80s, 85, 86, down to 74. Yeah, 73 and change. So it's dropped about $13, $14. And that's a big move. That's a, what is that? That's a, like a 15 or 14% move. Yeah. Huh. So, from there, we go over to, let's see, who's that? That is Nat Gas. We've done. Oh, I know it is. We want to look at the Spanish company and see what they're up to today. Where are we at? We're moving down. With a little luck, we may be not breaking 26, but we're probably in the low 26s. Let's find it right there. Right. There it is. Oh, it's gone the wrong way. Darn. 26.98 bid for, 27.05 offer. Now, we were hoping for the opposite, but they're putting some pressure on the upside there. There is no satisfying these energy markets, that's for sure. The only way to satisfy them is keep on producing. Whereas the former governor of Alaska says, drill, baby, drill. And then there's the nat gas. So that does what that does is that completes us on the energy side. Let's go take a look at the metal side. So we'll start off with gold. There's gold trading at, like what, 5-month lows here now? Let's see. When's the last time it was down there? March. So was that March and April and May and June? So it's a 4-month low we're heading after. Got a lot of work to do. It needs to break the 1850. So it has $65 more on the downside there. And then we go look at silver. And you see silver 3 days in the daily buy, but in a weekly sell, telling everybody, yeah, I'm cheap, but I have issues. No one wants me. It's trading 65% underneath its all-time high, and the gold is trading something like, let's see, was it 2,200, and it's trading at 19. It's $300 off, basically, of all-time highs. That's not too bad compared to being. That's what is that? That's it's like 12%, right around there, I guess. Right around there, it sounds like 12%. And when it comes to everything else, their silver's getting smashed. All right, and let's go over to copper. I think that's in a sell for 3 days now. Yeah, going on a fourth. Pressure is down. Well, the stories from China are not exactly making anybody feel comfortable. Let's put it that way. It's definitely, matter of fact, I just saw some poor fellow who's an engineer, a computer science engineer. He was thrown in prison and beaten pretty bad, or tortured pretty bad, they said, and he is, because he came up with a way of turning off the government influence on the internet. And that freaked them out, and they just, that freaked out the administration there. They're kind of like the Bidens, or the Bidens are like them, or I don't know. They're both crazy. All right, now we'll go over to platinum. There's platinum making lows. It almost got through the daily buy there yesterday. It was very close. And we've been in that weekly sell now for a whole 7 weeks. And that pressure just stays down there. The fast has been in a sell for 8 weeks. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going on a 9th week when it comes to the fast stochastic, the fast algorithm itself. Sometimes I call it has a stochastic smoothing the math out, but it's not a stochastic. That's why it goes through zero lines instead. All right, so that's the platinum. So the metals complex, if it wasn't for silver, it would look bad overall. But silver's tried to do a little bounce off the 2200 area for the last 4 days. And it may survive, in the sense of, the bounce might have some strength to it. But it is kind of funny to watch. I don't have a lot of confidence in the way it trades. All right. Metals don't. They really do not reflect the inflation and the fear and the economics. I saw, I'm not hepped on, I'm not sold always on polls, but they do tell you a story. And the polls say that they believe, almost 60% of the people in America believe Biden has been criminal and that he has taken bribes. That's a lot of people. Almost 60%. That's an awful lot. So, it makes sense to me. I know it, to someone in the Democrat Party, it makes no sense, but to me, it makes total sense. All right, now, from there, we did the energies. Now we've done the metals. I guess we can drift over into the equity market. That was kind of neat seeing NVDA. You can see here we're trying to get into a buy on the S&P 500. It's been in the daily sell for 2, 4, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and it has gone down. But we're in a weekly buy, so all you could do is really be neutral or in some type of binary or option position. All right, now from there, and let's take a look at the intraday too. They're not taking out last night's low right there in the Asian hours. We've been in the sell since right here. Is that the sell? No, it's not the sell. That's the sell right there. So it's just the third one right there. It goes into a sell right there, and they give it that. Now they're hoping to get back to that low that they panicked on. Things like that can hold up markets. All right, now from there, announces bid to unseat Tester in 2024. Who's Tester? I guess he's a senatorial candidate. That's what it must be. They're interviewing somebody. Tester. Who is Tester? Tester's. Oh, I know it is. I think he's the senator from Montana. That's what it is. Yeah. All right, now from there, we go over to. So markets overall have been kind of quiet. Now from there, we'll go over to let's see, right there, and let's take a look at the Tech 100. Find my glasses again. There they are. Tech 100's been in a daily buy for a couple days now. Right there. Okay, so what is that? Something doesn't look right. Let me just go double check that. Something's wrong there. Let's put it up on J4X too. Let's see. Where are you? Tech 100. There you are. I got you. I got you, Popeye. Yeah, so it's been moving down. It's trying to get into the daily buy. Something's wrong with this. Let me just reset it. Let's see, where's that? Settings. There we are. That's better. Yeah, so it went into a buy a couple days ago, and it's flirting with the sell today. That's what it is. And as much as it seemed to take off, it hasn't taken off that much, you know, when you really think about it. It's trapped underneath the 15. It's not up to like 1550 or something like that. What else can we say about the Tech 100? It's up almost 30% for the year. That's really powerful. The Tech, they called yesterday the Tech Rally. And what else can we say about the Tech 100? I guess that's about it. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. I'm sorry, the replacement of the Tech 100, and that is the Russell 2000. And there it is, right there. It's trying to get into a buy. You can see that. The buyers are trying to come in. What else can we say about that? You know, this is the most speculative of our indices. So in other words, when this thing is lifting, it means money is really chasing after stocks, and when it's not lifting, it means that they're stepping to the side. And it's very wishy-washy, which is odd. But that's the way it goes. That's the 2000, Russell 2000. And then we'll look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. No, that's not it. There it is, right there. There we are. You see, that's in a buy for like 5 days now, and in a weekly buy for going on a fourth week. So it's tried, you know, it went into the buy back in here. It shot up. Now it's sold down with that daily sell right there, and then we broke down in here, and now it's trying to get back into the buy again, which I don't blame it. I mean, these things, especially, you know, the stock indices is the safest way to invest in equities. This way you're not being blindsided by something big. But it's definitely well worth always thinking about, if you're going to buy something in the stock market, think about at least picking up a stock indice, because they have a lot of diversity in them. All right, now from there, where do we go? I guess that does it on the stock indices. And there's the S&P. As we said, we were playing with the daily buy today, even with it down. But it doesn't seem to, as we can see here on the intraday, it's way off of its lows of the day. It's not really lifting up. All right. So from there, we've done the stock indices, we've done the energies and the metals, Anybody care to see anything? Robin, you got anything you want to take a quick look at? Janos, anybody? That NVDA was fun. And what do we do for a title today, too? And like I said, Powell is speaking. That's why the markets are kind of like totally stalled. He is speaking right at this moment. He's been speaking for 16 minutes. I'm not seeing anything come across the tape, so he hasn't done. No, okay. I haven't seen anything Powell said yet, so not sure what that's all about. But I guess he's not saying anything too important. Thank goodness. I mean, that's what we want. Is we want him not to do too much. Let's see. Biden pushes climate-focused economic agenda. Sounds like a lose-lose there. All right. Now, what should we call today's webinar? That's something I want to think about, too. Let's see. We talked about the energies. We talked about... How about that? Maybe we talk about the stock, MVDA. That was kind of neat. The difference between the Russell and the rest of them. Not sure what else to label it. I think that would be interesting. MVDA. All right. Anyway, let's go find something else to look at since it's a quiet day. Let's find right there. We're going to take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. That was kind of interesting, the Dow Jones. It has shown lots of life in it. This is a September contract, and you see it was in a weekly buy now for 4 full weeks. And ran up, went back to where it started, and it's trying to turn up again. Can I say anything intelligent about any of this? I find it interesting how the Dow Jones Industrial Average is more sensitive than the other indices like the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ 100. It is kind of interesting that it's looked at as like old Wall Street. People, if you come in that place and just not topping out or something like that, that tells you a lot. That really does. All right. What else can we say about any of this? The Dow Jones is very sensitive. It is. I've heard money managers of late say, they're buying the Dow stocks because they figure that they're at it. These people are investing with 2 and 3 and 5 year objectives, not like 2-3 hour objectives or 2 week objective. And that's the end of the tea. They really are stepping up and nibbling. They're paid to buy. Look, we've talked about this many a time. They're paid to buy. They've got to buy. They got to do something. They've got to step up and buy something. And so that seems to be the one of the places they draw to. Now, it's obviously not up as much as the Dow Jones not the S&P, the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was in the 33,600 area starting the year off, and now we are at the 30. We've gotten as high as almost 35,000. Whereas on the Tech 100, it's up over 30%. That's pretty good. That's a lot of push. And again, it was a tech rally yesterday, and techs are, people are thinking, we're paid to be invested. We might as well buy something. They don't have to spend a lot. They just have to spend a little. If there's no sellers, it pushes the market. It pushes the market up even higher. It's always that seesaw, always going on back and forth. And so, you kind of look at it and you go, okay, well, and then the S&Ps. Let's see where the S&Ps are, but the S&Ps are probably halfway to what the Tech 100 is. So going into, they were trading in the 3,900 area coming into the year, and we've been now to a high of almost 4,500. I think it's like 90 something. 93 is the high. Yeah, 93.50. So that's an interesting move there. About a 500 point move, which comes out to be about 13-14%, which is not bad. And that's what we've been seeing. Is we've been seeing that type of action, and it's not pulling back. And we're seeing the currencies like the cable try to find a bottom. We're seeing the euro. It has found a bottom too. It keeps on trying to hold on to those bottoms. They keep on trying to support them, and hoping to see them lock themselves into just gaining from there. In other words, many a time we talk about silver, and I go, oh man, how did it get back to 19 or 20 when we were just at 26? And it's the same thing with the Dow Jones and so forth. It's like, how does it get back down? It should keep on finding ways to climb, not fall. All right. What else we got going on here? I guess that's about it. I have to come up with a title, like I said. And Powell was speaking outside the country. So can we honestly say we're watching Powell speak today? I guess that's what it is. Fed chair. I guess you could say Fed chair holds the markets firm or weak, sideways, I guess. That's what happens when he's speaking. AIR. Fed chair holds markets flat. I think that's a good way of looking at it, because we're seeing the currencies do the same thing. There we are. I mean, we're seeing basically, we've seen cable down. We're seeing, the euro trying to lift. They're in weekly. Let's just go back to them really quick. They're in weekly sells. I think that's what it is. So there's the euro. No, they're in weekly buys and daily sells. That's what it is. They're mixed. Same thing with the cable. Weekly buy, daily sells. We're at the lows of the last 6 days too when it comes to the cable. All right, traders, that's about it. This is Doc from North America. Tomorrow will be Thursday. And then next week, let me just keep on reminding you, and that is next week, half a day on Monday. And then the birth of the country is on Tuesday. It's our 4th of July. I'll do my webinars as usual. But without a doubt, it will, it's going to be like a 4-day weekend here in the United States. Because even the exchanges are closing for half a day on Monday, and then they're closed on Tuesday. So, all right, traders, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders, have a safe and smart trading day, and we will see you on Thursday. Arrivederci.